Hey, welcome back. Coming up off of a sinus infection. I had last week, man, it just hit me. And it wasn't horrible. I had a headache from it and everything, but the worst part was I couldn't sleep. Nose was just stopped completely up, and I'm not a mouth breather in bed. So, I had to sleep in a recliner and all that type of stuff. But anyway, I'm getting over it. Today is like my first really good day back from it. All right, so today I have a bourbon for you that's local. I was going to feature them, but we'll talk about it right after this. All right, as promised, I have Old Nick Williams. Around here, we call it Old Nick. It's a straight bourbon whiskey, 46% alcohol. It's 92 proof, so that makes me happy. There is a history behind this, and I'll go over that later on. But this is distilled and bottled by the Old Nick Williams Company, Incorporated, Louisville, Kentucky, North Carolina. I am in the Winston-Salem area of North Carolina, so this bourbon is definitely, this distillery, is definitely within reach of a short drive. But with COVID and everything, the limited functionality and all with the distilleries, I did reach out to them last week and wrote what I considered to be a well-written email. I'm a professional guy. I write good emails, and I said, hey, we're doing this support local hashtag thing. I'm wanting to feature you guys. I asked about any, changes they've made for COVID and all of this. And, I can certainly get their history off the website, but I just wanted to, get a rapport going with them to see, maybe get a little inside information. I don't want to just bring you what you can go Google search, but they haven't gotten back to me. So I'm not going to actually go through the history or feature them today, maybe later. And if they do get back with me, I will put them up against another local bourbon that I've already reviewed before called Doc Porter, which I think this, from memory, I haven't had this in a while. I do believe Old Nick is a superior bourbon. Now, the ONW is Old Nick Williams, but like I said, around here we call it Old Nick. So let's go ahead and pop the cork on this thing. Good cork pop. Pour you a little bit. We're just going to review straight based on, just like always, what I can read off the bottle, what I can see in the glass, nose, and palate. So let me pour me a little bit here. Get that drop off the side. Re-cork. That cork is in there solid, I can tell you that. All right, Old Nick, here we go. Let's give her a swirl. Get some air in here. While we're doing that, the color on this is a lighter amber, but it's a decent amber. Now, in order to be called a bourbon, 51 or more % corn in the mash. They've relaxed some of the aging rules over time. It used to be at least 2 years to 4 years was really the minimum where you didn't have to put a statement in. And used to, if it were above 2 and less than 4, you had to list it, like say it was like 2 years, 6 months or whatever. I don't believe you have to do that anymore, but you still cannot. It still has to be 51% or more corn. It still has to be made in the U.S., and it still has to be in new. I will have to look this up again, but I'm pretty sure it says new American oak barrels. But and it's usually white oak, and it has a char on the inside of the barrel. But like I said, those rules have kind of relaxed and changed over time. But we'll get into that in another video. All right, on the nose. Okay, I'm picking up the fruits, a hint of vanilla in there, but I'm getting the cherries out of this. A little spice kick to it. It does not have a mash bill on here, and like I said, I didn't look it up. It just says 200-year-old family recipe. established in 1768. So, but I do know from reading the history on this before, and I'm not going to, don't quote me on any of this, that they were established, shut down for a long time, not even just for Prohibition, and then they've just rekindled it, and they're using the same old, like the old recipe. I do believe there's probably some rye in this. I'm getting a good spice kick on the nose. But definitely those fruits are in there. It's not coming across real dark. Decent legs on it though. It's coating the glass. I'm getting, they're running a little quicker than some, but they're slow enough. And the beads are pretty fat. The trail's coming down. So let me get that first sip out of the way. Well, that spice kick is there. Okay, not going to give a lot of notes on that first sip, but some of the caramel came across there on that initial sip, but let's go ahead and dissect it a little more than that. I did get a decent little finish on the back. It is coating really well. I am getting some of those charred wood notes on the side, but I am getting that spice in the back, and I am getting a warmth, a good warm hug off this thing back here. Now, like I said, it's above 90. It's 92 proof, but it's certainly not barrel proof or cast strength. But I am getting some warmth back there, and I am getting some darker fruit notes out of there too. I think that cherry is really coming through. Yeah, it's starting to get a little creamier with the following sips. I did not get a burn or a singe on the tongue, so they have tampered this down some. It's drinking probably right around or slightly below its alcohol content. But yeah, the tip of the tongue, there was nothing there, and that's a good thing. It's adding to what we call the smoothness of a bourbon. But yeah, good, little backwoods finish on the back. I do like that kick in the back of the throat. Reminds me I'm drinking whiskey, and it's really good. Yeah, those wood notes are banging on this thing. I love that. It's almost like it's double oaked or something, but there's no statement on here like that. Handcrafted in small batches, but I wouldn't figure it would be any other way. I don't think they're a really big distillery. So, but yeah, this is really nice. Now, in order to really compare this, I'm really going to have to compare it to other bourbons. And in my mind, I'm looking at this as a good, medium, decent bourbon. And for the price, I think it's spot on. It was around $36, I think, for this bottle. And I think that's a really fair price for this. Pardon me. Still getting over my sinus stuff. No, I think that's a fair price for this bourbon. I think it's a really good bourbon. I'm getting some of the apples, some of the darker cherry notes. I'm getting a little spice in there, but I'm not getting a lot of clove or allspice or anything out of it. So the rye was coming across more on the nose than the palate. But I am getting a punch in the back, a little spice kick back there. One more. But all in all, I think this is a good, well-rounded bourbon. Gives you just the right amount of sweetness. It's not overly sweet, but it's below middle sweet, I think. But I like that, and it allows those wood notes to come out more, and gives you that backwoods finish is what I call it, like sitting around a campfire. A lighter cigar, yeah, sure. But yeah, this is a good one, I think, to have, and I'm glad I have it, because if people come over, hey, I'm a bourbon head, what do you have? Well, have you tried Old Nick? You're not from around here. Let's do that. I think it stands on its own. I think it's a really great bourbon. But like I said, later on, if they get back in touch with me, I'll reach out to them one more time. I would like to feature them and the history of on them, and maybe kind of measure them against different bourbons. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. As always, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell down there for notifications, and I promise I'll keep bringing you these videos.